What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we got some rather breaking news that we need to address because these are things that are happening right now. A lot of the stuff that we've discussed over the past few weeks, even a few months, is a lot of stuff that's still questionable. Lawmakers are discussing, or something could happen. Well, here's stuff that's actually happening right now. And then we're also going to address Social Security benefits because I got a lot of questions after the videos I've done over the past couple of weeks regarding Social Security as to whether or not we're going to see an increase, whether or not we're going to see something happen to Social Security beneficiaries. Well, I want to address that. But let's talk about the first thing that's going on right now. And this is a potential Russian food shortage. What we are hearing right now is that, and this has been going on over the past few days, is that Russia is threatening unfriendly countries that if they are not friendly towards Russia, then they will actually cut them off of all agriculture food supplies. Now, why is this so important? Well, for one, this has many countries extremely worried because even though the US we would be fine without getting products from Russia. The problem is other countries rely on these products. And if they can't get them, guess what? Those countries will turn to maybe the United States. The United States will export products to those countries. And guess what this means to the American citizens? Our products will go up in price because now we have more demand. That's a huge issue. But it's not just with Russia. And again, I've been talking about food shortages for the past few weeks. We are getting more and more CEOs, executives, more and more White House officials, people all across the country, experts, the USDA, they're all telling us that food shortages are likely to happen. We're already seeing them. So if they're saying they're likely to happen, and yet we're already seeing them, things are going to get worse. But speaking of worse, let's talk about supplemental pandemic EBT. These are the supplemental benefits of roughly $100 per month that families are getting. Well, these are going to expire on April 15th. This is a huge concern. Almost every single state is going to be impacted by this change. This means that for millions of families, they're going to lose out on these benefits. Again, these benefits have been helping them pay for food for the past year or two. And as of right now, what we are waiting on right now is for President Biden to bring this up and to extend this. But again, at this time, it doesn't look so likely. Now, a lot of people have asked me if there is going to be more for nutrition assistance for the families that do need it. And the answer at this time is no. The assistance that we've already given out, according to many experts, is going to be the last of it. Now, you're still going to get your regular monthly allotment, but as far as a supplemental allotment, that's not going to come. Okay? Just want to be honest with you guys. I know it's not the greatest news, but I want to be upfront so that you guys can be prepared. Now, let's talk about what House progressives are doing at this time regarding additional stimulus. Here's what we know. House progressives have said that they understand what it's going to take in order to get Senator Joe Manchin on board with parts of President Biden's economic agenda, his Build Back Better Act, or his Building a Better America. Now, these are likely going to include policies that boost fossil fuels in the short term. Because what we know is that Senator Joe Manchin, he's been very clear on this, he's open to climate, but there needs to be more than just provisions for going electric. Everybody was talking about going electric, all EV, tax credits, right? All these different things, which is great. As an investor into a lot of EV companies, I absolutely love this. But Senator Joe Manchin stated that going all EV would actually put the U.S. at risk of being reliant on other countries, such as China, for parts and batteries. And keep that in mind, because I know a lot of people say, well, we need to go EV. We have to go electric. Well, yes, we should move towards electric, but 100% probably is not the best move. Now, based on what Senator Joe Manchin's demands were back in December, we know he's open to around $550 billion in climate spending. We also know he's willing to negotiate as long as 50% of the new tax revenues go towards deficit reduction. The key word there is new tax revenues. If that is not something that is included into the next bill that progressives hand over to President Biden or to Senator Schumer, Speaker Pelosi, or even to Senator Joe Manchin, he's not going to support it. He will not support it. He's been very clear on that. So just keep in mind, the discussions as of right now are progressing. They're looking positive. But again, these are just the discussions. Once we get into the negotiation phase, which I don't think we're really there yet, there's murmurs here and there, tossing ideas around, but I wouldn't really call this a full-fledged negotiation. So once we get there, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest details as soon as we know them. But let's talk about Social Security for a second, because here's the reason why I keep bringing this up. A few of the different groups here in the United States that are really struggling. Social Security beneficiaries or people on a fixed income is one. Some that do have student debt, they aren't struggling yet, but come May 1st, we could see the struggles begin. Okay? And so I talk about Social Security benefits because many people have been asking the question, what about us? What options are lawmakers even discussing? Well, here's what I know, because I did some digging, and this is what I uncovered because I actually found an article just today from MarketWatch. And I want to read you this. And I want to read you this because I get a lot of questions from people as to, hey, where did you get that article? Where did you get your information? I don't see it. The reason why a lot of people are not going to see the articles that I'm reading, and this is exactly from MarketWatch, okay? I'm going to read you the exact paragraph. You want to go and search it, go and search it. But just understand MarketWatch, you can only read like 2 articles a month, so then you have to pay for it. I pay for all these services. So that's the reason why I'm seeing some of these different stories that you may not see on mainstream media, okay? Or on social media. But here's what MarketWatch had to say. There's nothing complicated about fixing Social Security. Legislators can raise taxes as they did in 1977, or they can cut benefits as they did in 1983. Alternatively, they could reinvent the program as they tried in 2005. All 3 options have been on the table since the solvency problem first emerged in the mid-1990s. That's exactly from MarketWatch. Now, one of the reasons why I really want to bring this up is because Democrats are open to increasing taxes. And that's Democrats as a whole. But President Biden, who's just one Democrat, the main Democrat, he's made it very clear. He doesn't want to raise taxes on anybody that makes less than $400,000 per year. But this is why this is such a controversial matter, because the Social Security tax ceiling, where the employer and the employee have to pay 6.2%, what you need to keep in mind is that the ceiling is still at $147,000. It hasn't been pushed any higher than that, okay? Which, yes, it has gone up. Hey, granted, it has gone up, but they're not pushing it any higher to $200,000 or $250,000. And some lawmakers have talked about this is a good option. Others have mentioned, let's target investment income specifically. And even recent talks are on targeting crypto and the profits in crypto. This has been in some discussions. But honestly, at this point, I doubt something's going to happen regarding crypto. It's already a very controversial matter. I don't think they're going to throw crypto in with Social Security because that would really, really make things complicated. So we'll see what happens there. And lastly, let's talk about a new COVID variant. There's a new variant called Z. It's called XE. That's written XE. That's what it is. It's called Z. This variant known as Z is actually a combination of the BA.1 Omicron variant and its subvariant BA.2, which we've been talking about most recently. Now, this type of combination is what is called a recombinant. Okay? It's a recombinant variant. And what you need to understand here and what experts are saying is they're not worried about this because a recombinant variant is very common. We see these all the time. They often just pop up, then they disappear on their own. So, I did a little research. I just wanted to keep you informed of this, because what we are seeing is a lot of news outlets are saying, careful, we got to be careful, right? Caution, warning, urgent, breaking news, new COVID variant. But at the same time, experts say it's not really new. It's just an additional subvariant, all right? So keep in mind, yes, some are saying to let's be cautious here, but at the same time, it shouldn't be anything to be too worried about at the moment. So that's what we know as of right now. Again, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates with you. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.